certification.
We're having a little trouble hearing you. It keeps fading in and out. And I'm not sure if it's your line or ours.
Well, I'm not on a cell phone, so that should make it so I'm not going in and out on my end. Can you tell me what you'd like me to repeat?
Could you repeat about the commission and the rulemaking?
Sure. The Commission currently has on the table some proposed rules related to the rated license and certification. And what those rules add in certification as an option for meeting the different point levels and the education component of the rated license. So right now it might say that the group leader has to have BSAC and so many hours of experience or so many semester hours of course. What these rules would do is add in another or be certified level. So it doesn't go away from the current rule, it just adds a new option. And what that will do to inspectors is if you are hiring a new person in any of your classrooms that are certified, once that's in the rule, if they have that option, then you don't need to worry about other coursework they've completed. So it provides a little more flexibility in hiring staff into programs. The commission at this point would be voting on those rules in May, and then there's a couple of other steps that rules always have to go through. Summer 2011. So that's what we're currently doing. And the way that we are then incorporating or aligning even more certification within our rules. Was there any other piece?
I think we're losing you again, Anna. We may need to move into other callers and moving on to the next item on the agenda, which was getting some coverage on guidelines for CEU instructors.
Okay, good. And I think that goes back to Deborah.
Okay. So with CEU instructors, there is an adult educator endorsement available, application available online. If you click on continuing education and then highlight adult educator tools and guidelines, you'll find a lot of information on the website about everything from applying to be endorsed to how you document a CEU to steps for getting it approved. So since our connection isn't very good, I think it'd probably be best if participants looked at that website. Attending a CEU development training is a really good idea. If you're interested in providing CEUs, that will help give you lots of information and an opportunity to ask more in-depth questions. There is one coming up next week in Greensboro on March the 8th. It's an all-day training, one in Blowing Rock on March the 10th, and one in Raleigh on March the 28th. We've already given these in Wilmington, Greensboro, Asheville, Statesville, all over the place. So those will be the last three for a good while. So it's $25 for lunch and materials if you're interested in attending. You can find that on the home page of the Institute's website.
Could you repeat that website again, Deborah?
The Institute's website address is NCI, North Carolina Institute, NCI, Child Development Professionals, CDP.org. NCICDP.org.
Any questions for Deborah, Erica, or, I'm sorry, Aaron or Anna? Questions? Okay, thanks, ladies. We appreciate you calling in.
You're welcome. Have a good conference.
Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye. Thanks, Aaron and Anna. Okay, bye-bye.
I'm sorry about the audio on that. I think with Anna dialing in on her cell phone, we kept losing her there. but some good information. I think that website should provide more information for us for pulling up the CEU information. What we'd like to do now for the next few minutes, we wanted to have some group discussion on what topics we should be developing school-age CEUs around, and finding out if some of you are working on this at your campus, and seeing what we can do collectively. So what I'd like to ask you to do is just take about 5 minutes at your tables and discuss that and see what questions you all may have and see what solutions we could come to together. And we'll come back together in about 5 minutes and have some larger group discussion. Okay. Let's take a few minutes before we move on to the next item on our agenda and get some report outs. It sounds like there's some exciting conversation going on. So I will just walk around with the portable mic here and have you each report out.
Okay, at our table we discussed a couple of things. One thing that I strongly recommend to all of you, if not done so already, is to talk with your continuing education folks and partner with them. We have an excellent working relationship with our Con Ed department at South Piedmont, and we've sat down and we've strategized and we've come up with some things to hopefully prevent the floodgates from opening, because we know July of next year the floodgates are going to open. So what we want to do is to prevent the floodgates from opening by good strategic planning. Also to work along with your CCRI, your Child Care Resource Incorporation that's near you, or your partnerships, to have collaborative discussions and planning. The thing about the whole thing is I'm excited about it because this is a win-win situation for all of us. I think for many years we wanted something that would be seamless and kind of help us. And some of us in here are kind of seasoned in the field. I will not call your names, but you all can remember way back when the CEUs were just kind of fun play stuff. Well, this is not going to be the case, because you'll have to have clear, measurable objectives. You'll have to have assessments, and it's really going to be great. The great thing about it, you'll be able to offer the introductory, the novice level, and then I call it the seasoned level. And another thing we can keep in mind is once we get the folks in through Con Ed, it's like we're going fishing, and we're going for a different set of fish. Is that we can get them in and show them that we don't bite, that the college doesn't bite, and coming to college can really be actually a fun thing. And through that, we can perhaps talk to them and about the profession and the importance of education. Then they would probably eventually come on over to curriculum. And one trend that we're all noticing because of budget cuts, we're seeing that there are a lot of people in the public schools who were former school teachers that are now coming into the early education field or school-age education field, and they don't have the background, so their administrators are telling them, you need to take a course at a community college. That's a whole nother new population that's coming to us. So it's going to force those maybe who hadn't thought about coming to school, who've been in the field for a while, to either do two things. Come get CEUs, well, maybe three things. Come get CEUs, enroll in courses, or they may get out of the field altogether. So this is a great time for us. We're always talking about professionalism and how we want to be recognized. And like Deb said, the chicken farmers or chicken truck people or whoever, that they're certified, and we're taking care of the future. So we deserve certification, and we're talking about the salaries in our field. This is one of the things that will help raise the bar. So those are the things that I really recommend. Start your courageous conversations. Start planning. Start thinking out of the box. Get your early childhood and school age advisory committees involved. Get their input, because you know they weigh a lot. All of the stakeholders, and do it. And you will find out that by this time next year, we'll all be smiling because we'll be ready when the floodgates open. So that's my spiel. Oh, we're from South Piedmont Community College.
Well said, right? Let's do it this way. Is there another group that has something they would like to add? I'm seeing people pointing at Aaron.
I'm going to Aaron.
Well, I'm supposed to talk about the model first. Okay. Well, are you talking about the four of us is what you're talking about? All right. Well, at JCC, we have been very fortunate actually because our continuing ed and curriculum is sort of merging at our college. You know, we've always been sort of separate. So it's a new thing for us. And they're merging, and our organizational structure is completely in flux at the moment. But I think it could be a very good thing for the CEU thing because I'm here today with two of my CEU colleagues. I know more curriculum people came with me, but I have two CEU colleagues. And we really have dedicated both of these ladies here. This is Heidi Harris and Rosa, are both school-age folks, and I'm more early childhood background. So we've identified two people in curriculum that are really going to focus on the early childhood CEU development and two people in continuing ed that are really going to focus on the school-age development. And then thankfully we have Heidi particularly, but also Rosa, who knows how to develop a CEU and going through the process of being able to administer CEUs in the and is learning and guiding us in that process. So I feel very fortunate that it's been a really good collaboration for us at JCC to not only have content experts to develop, but also the know-how and the collaboration of someone who can walk us through the process of CEUs, because that's not something I've done in curriculum. So I'm excited about that. But I want to pass to Rosa to share a little bit about what Sharon was talking about the development at the state level.
Deborah Torrance contacted a few folks to help go ahead and make 20 CEU outlines for classes. Two of them, to my knowledge, and I think it's just two, are specifically school age, although others have implications for school age. I've not studied the list, and she's not quite ready to publish the entire list yet. We are doing this in about 2 weeks' time, and it's the worst possible time in my life to be doing this. Heather and Christy, do not tell Cindy Osborne at Stanley. My class is not ready yet to start on Monday, but it will be. Okay, so I'm doing, I've got to get the title right, I've changed it recently, Designing Quality Environments for School-Age Programs. Mine's going to be online, and it's going to have a student observation in it. It's going to have to take about a week, or I'm not sure my time frame yet, but it's going to take some periods of days to do it, although it's only 5 hours of content, because they're going to have to do a 30-minute observation unless someone cuts it out, because I want them to get in the classroom and look at it. They're also going to have to do, they're going to have to create an activity based on an activity sheet to talk about how developmentally appropriate activities create a good environment and help control behavior. And they have to do a follow-up. They're going to have to reply back to me after the class is over. This isn't just sit down in the seat, get your certificate, and leave. This is, so what has it done for you? And so at the end of that, they will have to do something in response to the class to tell the instructor that, hey, this is what I got from it. And mine's probably going to be some kind of email feedback. But so that's my topic, and I'm going to come and stand beside Sharon and let her tell you about her topic. Anybody else developing? Okay, so let me hand this to you.
The topic that I'm working on is character education in school-age programs, developing activities and lesson plans. So the CEU that I'm working on surrounds character education, and we know that that's in the public schools in North Carolina, but the great thing about it is we can just roll that right over into the after-school programs so that children and faculty can become familiar with that, rather the caregivers that work with the school-age children, and that can roll over in ways of activities, incentives, and all type of different things. So that's the CEU that I'm working on. And I'd also like to add too, one of the differing things about the CEU is with us, when we teach courses, we sprinkle little things in there. It's just like when you sprinkle things on top of a cupcake. You can tell I like sugar, right? But anyway, sprinkle things on top of a cupcake. We are sprinkling when we teach, but when you have a CEU, it is specialized to one specific topic. There is the difference. So it's really building a foundation. One thing is building upon the other.
Anyone from these two tables, did you want to share about your course?
My topic is not specifically school age, although it can be. Mine is basically building blocks to online learning. So helping them to know how to, those who are scared to do online learning, they can at least come and say, this CEU is for you, and now you can eventually be able to not only take